There are many instances in which wild animals and humans have helped each other in their survival. One example is the relationship between humans and domesticated animals, such as dogs and horses, which have been bred and trained to assist humans in various tasks and activities. There are also cases where wild animals and humans have formed more unexpected relationships, such as a woman almost drowned in the river, and a wild bear shows up and does something unexpected. See this video until the end. You'll get to know what happened to that woman. If you're new to this channel, subscribe to this channel and check the playlist to watch more real stories. It is important to note that wild animals should generally be left to their own devices and not approached or interacted with too closely, as it can be dangerous for humans and animals. In situations where a wild animal needs assistance, it is important to seek help from trained professionals equipped to handle the situation safely. There have been many examples where humans helped several animals. What if a human needs help and a wild animal show up to help a human? Have you seen this case ever in your life? Will their wild instincts allow them to help humans in life-threatening situations? In today's story, you'll get to know a real story about a woman named Maria Carmen who was on a trip to Cantabria in Spain. While crossing the river, she was nearly drowning, and a wild bear helped her. Maria had always been drawn to the beauty and peacefulness of lush green areas. She loved nothing more than hiking through forests and meadows, taking in the sights and sounds of the natural world around her. For years, Maria had dreamed of camping in a luscious green forest, surrounded by towering trees and the sounds of chirping birds and rustling leaves. She longed to immerse herself in the solitude and serenity of the wilderness, to connect with nature in a way that she had never before experienced. So when the opportunity to fulfill her dream presented itself, Maria didn't hesitate. She packed her bags and set out on a solo camping trip to a remote, untouched forest in the mountains. As she hiked through the dense foliage, Maria couldn't believe the beauty surrounding her. She set up camp at the base of a tall oak tree, and spent days exploring the surrounding area, taking photographs and marveling at the diversity of plant and animal life. But what Maria loved most about her time in the forest was the opportunity to be with the animals. She spent hours observing the creatures that called the forest home, from the graceful deer that wandered through the underbrush to the playful squirrels that scampered through the trees. As the days passed, Maria felt more connected to the natural world than ever. She knew that this was where she belonged, and she vowed to return to this special place as often as she could. From that point on, Maria became a regular visitor to the luscious green forest, returning time and time again to reconnect with nature and the animals that she loved. She was also a wildlife enthusiast and loved caring for animals, as it gave her a sense of fulfillment and pride. It was a cold, misty morning in the small region of Cantabria in Spain. The sun had yet to rise above the horizon, casting a dim, eerie glow over the frozen landscape. Maria had been hiking for hours, and her camera was clutched firmly in her hand as she navigated the rocky, snow-covered terrain. She was so focused on getting the perfect shot that she didn't notice the thin layer of ice that had formed on the surface of the nearby river. Maria was determined to cross the river that ran through the dense jungle. As she approached the river, she saw that the water was fast-moving, and the rocks that jutted out of the surface looked slippery. But Maria was determined and began to carefully step from one rock to the next, using her stick to balance herself. The sun was high in the sky, and the heat was oppressive, but Maria didn't let that deter her. She was focused on reaching the other side and exploring the other side of the jungle. As she made her way across the river, she could feel the cool mist of the water spraying up on her face. It was a welcome respite from the sweltering heat. But as she reached the halfway point, disaster struck. One of the rocks she was standing on shifted beneath her feet, and she lost her balance. She cried as she fell into the fast-moving water, her stick floating away downstream. Maria fought against the current, trying to swim to the shore, but the water was too strong. She could feel herself being pulled downstream, the rushing water filling her ears and muffling the sounds of the jungle around her. There was no one who could help Maria in this situation. She believed she would die there, but something happened that she would have never expected. She saw a wild bear on the riverside and looked at the struggling Maria, but this caused Maria to panic even more. The bear wades into the water and quickly swims towards the drowning woman. Maria couldn't believe what was happening. She had heard stories of bears attacking humans, but she had always assumed that they were just tales meant to scare people. But this bear seemed different. There was something almost gentle in how it held her in its arms. As the bear carried her back to the bank of the river, it vanished in the next moment. She couldn't help but wonder what had caused it to act in such a way. Had it sensed that she was in danger and rushed to her rescue? Or was there something more at play here? Maria knew that she had to find out the truth, and she was determined to uncover the mystery of the bear that had saved her life. She spent the next few weeks researching every aspect of bear behavior, trying to find a reason for the creature's unusual actions. But no matter how hard she looked, she couldn't find any explanation. It was as if the bear had acted out of some deep, instinctual sense of compassion. Maria knew that she had to find a way to thank the bear for its kindness. She decided to leave a small food offering at the spot where the bear had saved her, hoping it would understand the gesture. To her surprise, the bear returned the following day, accompanied by a group of its fellow bears. Maria watched in amazement as the creatures approached the offering, sniffing at the food before happily devouring it. Maria realized that she had formed a special bond with these bears and knew that she had to do everything in her power to protect them. She spent the next few years working tirelessly to raise awareness about the importance of preserving the natural habitat of these magnificent creatures. And as the years passed, Maria watched with pride as the population of bears in the area began to thrive again. The bear that had saved her life became a constant presence in Maria's life, and she knew that she would always be grateful for the unexpected act of kindness it had shown her. If you liked today's video, please hit the like button and share this story with others. Also, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so that you'll be notified when the next story goes live. See you again.